Hello. So this is the video that I mentioned I was probably gonna make. I just took my hair down and it's very dirty, but I didn't want to keep it in a ponytail anymore because I was like, I don't know, tired. Like, it wasn't a tight ponytail, but you know, after having your hair in a ponytail all day, it gets like weird. That's why I took it out. But geez, it's oily. I think I might put a beanie on because I don't want you guys to see just how oily my hair is. Give me a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay. That looks much better. I like that a lot better. Okay. So, as I was saying, the reason I'm making this video is to basically just discuss what happened with my LVV account on Facebook, to kind of let everyone know what happened, because I know not everyone knows, and it was a lot of shit, and it's kind of a lot to explain over type, so it's just easier if I talk about it. Oh, and please excuse my messy room. You can see part of my room. I know I wanted to do a room tour. I still want to do it, but like, not like this. Just ignore the back for now. So for those of you who don't know what happened, on Tuesday morning, my LVV account, which I originally made as an alternate account to be more personal, got zucked. Completely zucked. I'll kind of explain how it happened, at least from my perspective. So on Tuesday morning, I woke up around like 6:15, as I typically do on school days, and I always go to Facebook as soon as I wake up. And so I went to do that, and as soon as I logged into the app, or went to the app, it logged me out of my account. I thought that was kind of weird, but I just sort of ignored it. I thought, oh, maybe my account timed out, because I know sometimes that happens with Facebook. But then I get a notification on my Gmail that is titled disabled ineligible in the header. Or in the subject line, I'm sorry. In the subject line. And I was like, that's weird. And it said it was from Facebook. So I click on the email, and it says, "Hi, Elle. We have some concerns about your account due to privacy and security, blah, blah, blah." And it also had a thing where, like, you could dispute whatever the thing was. It didn't say yet what Facebook's issue was. And so I was like, okay, well, yeah, I want my fucking account. Let me log in. So I disputed it or whatever, and I went to the help center. And then, like, immediately, another email was sent from Facebook saying that they had a privacy concern due to my name. And what I needed to provide was documentation to prove that my name was LVV.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
What the fuck?
No, ma'am.
I've never heard of this kind of policy at Facebook or any social media platform. And they were very explicit and specific on what kind of documentation they needed. They were like, we need legal documentation either in the form of a driver's license or your birth certificate. Like, who the fuck is gonna, like, just send Facebook their fucking birth certificate? I don't know. Or legal name change papers. So for people who don't go by their birth name, including on Facebook, but have had their name legally changed, they could provide that paperwork to Facebook, and that would work. And then they were like, if you don't have these primary forms of ID, you can provide us 2 or more secondary forms. And those were things like a school ID or mail with that name. So like a piece of mail showing that your name is this, you go by this, with some address. I mean, I didn't have my address connected to my account anyway, so I don't know if that really would prove anything, but that's what they asked for. And so, and keep in mind, like I said, this email was sent basically right after the first email. So ironically, these accounts are like bot accounts. They're just random generated messages based on Facebook's algorithms. It's not even a real person, either like me, even though they're supposedly concerned that I'm not a real person. Whatever. So because it was so early in the morning when this happened, I obviously could not take care of it immediately because I had class. And so I messaged Sarah. Hi, Sarah. I love you. I messaged Sarah to basically be like, this fucking happened. I sent her screenshots, and I was like, can you please tell Orgy Chat? Shout out Orgy Chat. Fucking love you guys. Can you please tell them that I've basically been zucked? And I tried to go to Messenger because, for those of you who don't know, you can have a Messenger account without having a Facebook account. I think through like just an email or a phone number. And so I thought, well, maybe if my Facebook doesn't even work, I can still use Messenger. But then I tried to go to Messenger and it wouldn't even let me log in there. Like, it logged into my old Facebook account under my real name. And so I was like, what the fuck? So I messaged Sarah from my old account, the one with my real name, with the screenshots explaining what happened. And I was like, can you please tell the group? I'll post in Snapchat too, because I was really upset. And it takes a lot to get me mad, like legitimately angry. Like, I don't get angry, but I was pissed the fuck off. So that entire day just kind of sucked because I didn't have access to Facebook at all, besides my legal name account, but I don't post on there and I don't go to that account. I purposely try to avoid it. So what I did then, when I got home, when I got back from class, I basically sat down and wrote an email reply, because that's what the second email Facebook sent me told me to do. They were like, reply to this email with this documentation and we can see if you're eligible to have your account enabled again. Obviously, I don't have any legal documentation to show that my name is L or LVV, because it's not. It's basically my social media persona. It's what I go by on the internet. A lot of people have this kind of thing. It's not a weird concept. But what I plan to do was just basically provide them documentation of my real name, Lauren Vidrine, and explain to them my situation as to why I made the second account, and include evidence to prove that I was the person behind both accounts. And that I was trying to prove to them that I wasn't a catfish, and that I didn't like steal the photos from Lauren Vidrine and like try to be this other person. I'm both of those people. Because that's what their emails originally sounded like. That's what their issue was. They didn't seem to think that LVV was a real person. It seemed like they thought it was like some kind of catfish account. And so I was like, okay, well, I can just easily prove to you that I'm not a catfish. So I wrote them the email explaining why I made LVV, that I made it for personal reasons, to get closer to my internet friends, to get away from toxic relationships that I had on my original account, relationships that I couldn't get away from just by unfriending people because that would make things worse. And then at the end of the email, I attached the documentation they asked for, or the documentation I could provide. So if I remember correctly, I had a photo of my driver's license showing my name and my old face back when I lived in Eunice, picture of my school ID. I'm not going to say where I attend, but if you know me, you know where I attend. A photo of me holding up my driver's license to my face to show that, like, I have the driver's license. I'm not just a random person who managed to get Lauren Beauty's driver's license. It's me. Picture of me holding up a paper that said, I own both LVV and Lauren Vidrine. I'm the person who created both accounts. I was holding up a paper that said that. I feel like that's pretty good evidence to say that I'm not a catfish. And then I had one other thing. Oh, and then I had a piece of mail. But it was actually the piece of mail that showed when my mailing address changed to what it is now. And of course, all of the names on those documents were Lauren Vidrine, because that's my legal name, and so that's the name that had to be on those documents. But like I said again, from what I understood, I thought the issue Facebook was having was that they were trying to prove that LVV was, a real account and a real person. And I'm like, okay, great, I can do that. So I sent that back around like 5:30 or 6 on that Tuesday. And I didn't know how long it was going to take for them to reply, but they actually replied kind of fast. So I got a reply around 11. And they told me that I was still ineligible. After reviewing everything, I was still ineligible. Despite all the documentation I gave them, despite literally a photo of me holding up a paper that said I own both accounts. They were like, no, you can't have your account.
This is the biggest theft I've ever experienced in my entire career. This is the biggest hit as a brand.
What the fuck? So I was extremely pissed. And they also said, like, due to security reasons, we can't tell you why we reached the decision. So I still have no idea exactly how they found LVV, why they, Zucked it. I don't know if someone reported me. Courtney mentioned it seems like someone might have reported me. I don't know who it would have been because, like I said, I didn't have any family or, like, coworkers or old bosses on LVV, unless, like, someone in my family saw the account offhand and thought someone was catfishing me or, well, using my photos to catfish. But even then, you would think someone would try to contact me first before just reporting the account. And that didn't happen, so yeah, I got the email saying that I was totally ineligible and not going to get LVU back, and I was extremely, extremely pissed, because just kind of to express my emotions about that account, I spent so much time and energy to create that account. For those of you, I don't think anyone realized this, but when I made LVV, I actually had it for 2 days prior before adding anyone. So I created it, and before I ever sent a single friend request, I literally, like, built it from the ground up. I chose the photos I wanted to have in it. I chose what kind of albums I wanted. I chose what my bio was going to be like, what my cover photo was going to be like. Like, I chose the whole aesthetic, and, like, I wrote the descriptions for the albums, mainly for my OOTD album, because, like, I don't know if any of you read it, but it was a pretty long description because I described, like, my story behind my OOTDs and stuff. Basically, I'm saying all of this to express that I put a lot of fucking effort into that account to make it the way I wanted, to build it up, and it was so much time. It was really a lot of time that I put into it. And to basically have it all of a sudden taken away from me for what is really a bullshit reason, in my opinion, like, all because I don't go by my legal name on social media.
I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch.
What the fuck? And it was sad. It really upset me, in case that's not clear, because I just feel like I wasted so much time on that account. And then, of course, I was also very upset because Facebook is my primary social. So when it comes to me using social media, I use Facebook the most usually. And sometimes social media is the only form of socialization I will have at all in a single day. And so not having it was really rough for me. Like, I felt kind of isolated, kind of FOMO, because I didn't know what was going on in the group chat. I didn't know what was going on with my friends. A lot of my friends, some of them I have on other socials too, but typically a lot of them don't post as much on their other socials as they do on Facebook. So it's been a rough 3 or 4 days just because of that. Another thing I wanted to say before I move on to what I'm thinking of is I very sincerely want to thank everyone who trended the hashtag Bring Gothmob Back. That was very sweet of everyone. It made my day, and I've looked over a few of the posts through the hashtag on Facebook. I feel like I've missed some, maybe because I'm not friends with everyone yet. Thank you guys so much for trending that. It was so very sweet. Thank everyone so much who made memes and shared the memes, like, on the other socials too, for me to be able to see them, because that really, like, made things a little bit lighter for me. I was able to kind of laugh about the situation, which was nice because it really was devastating to me in the moment when it happened. So being able to kind of make a joke about it now is nice, because there was a moment there where I literally thought I wasn't going to come back to Facebook. I thought I couldn't come back to Facebook because I wasn't going to use my real name, and, like, I didn't know exactly what had happened. Like, I'm like, is my phone number, like, banned now? Thankfully, I realized you don't have to use your phone number to make a Facebook account. But still, it was tough. Oh, one more thing. I think the issue, possibly what kind of ticked them off about LVV's existence, based on the chats I've had with all of my social media friends, I think there was a short period where both ellevivi and my legal account, my Lauren Vidrin account with my legal name is what I mean, where they both had my phone number registered to the accounts. And so that may have tipped off Facebook and possibly made them upset. Maybe they don't like multiple accounts having the same number because, you know, it's kind of catfishy or something. I don't know. But it seemed like that's what had happened because those people I talked to who also have alt accounts said only one of their accounts has their phone number linked to it, not both of them. So that may have been what it is. Keep that in mind for anyone else who in the future wants to make an alt account. Try to maybe just only have one of them with your phone number. Another thing, and this is kind of important and not, it's very relevant, but at the same time it may seem kind of irrelevant at first. I want to talk about this policy kind of generally because I think there are some bigger issues with it than just, you know, someone like me who doesn't go by their legal name on social media. I mean, of course, like I said, it was devastating to me, but it doesn't, you know, in large part affect my livelihood. But there are definitely people who it could, and specifically, I think this policy is completely ignorant of trans people. Because, I mean, think about it. You're basically saying that we don't want anyone on this platform who doesn't go by their legal name. I mean, think about that. There are so many early socially transitioning trans people who don't have access to the money or the resources to legally change their name. And it's not even just young trans people, like trans people of any ages, for different reasons, whether it be finances, social situations, living situations, just can't legally change their name to the name they want to go by. And so that's basically what socially transitioning is. You go by a different name in life, even though, you know, on legal documents that may not be there. You don't have to, of course, be a trans person to kind of feel empathy for this, but still, like, how incredibly invalidating this kind of policy is to those kinds of people. Like, you're literally just saying you don't want these people on the platform. That's what you're saying, because you wouldn't allow them on the platform. And I don't think Facebook made this policy with that in mind. I don't think when they were writing up this policy that they were like, we don't want trans people on our platform. But I think, like I said, they did it in complete ignorance of the fact that this could affect trans people. Majorly affects trans people, like in terms of, you know, their mental health, because, you know, they might be like me and maybe Facebook is the only social or the primary social they can use. Maybe their parents will let them use any other social media. If they're a young trans person, maybe they can only use Facebook, and then Facebook is like, you can't go by the name you want. I mean, that would be terrible. I mean, it might even be safety for some trans people. You never know. I just think this kind of policy is like, it's going about a certain issue the completely wrong way. There are so many other ways you could try to confirm identities of people and try to be sure that people are being honest on a platform without having them to have to go by their legal name. It's a very weird policy. It also must be a very new policy because I don't remember this being an issue even last year. But I just kind of wanted to briefly say that piece that, like, this policy is low-key transphobic, and I don't think Facebook is aware of it, because I feel like if they were, they would have, you know, said something by now, or, like, this would, I feel like, be talked about more by now, because I don't really hear this being talked about at all, which is sort of weird. But yeah, this policy is definitely an issue in terms of that, like, for trans people, but also, I mean, even if you're not trans, I know a lot of cis people who go by a name that is not their legal name, first or last. And so, like, I just think it's very dumb to try to tell people that on social media they have to go by their legal name. I mean, imagine fucking Twitter trying to do that shit, or even Instagram, but Twitter especially, like, oh my god, no one on Twitter goes by their legal name. Like, they would lose everybody. Like, there would no longer be the platform of Twitter if that was a rule. But yeah, that basically was to explain what happened to me. My new account is Lauren ViVi. What I plan on doing, I think, is I I'm gonna start out this way, as the name being Lauren ViVi. If I don't hear anything for about 60 days, I think my account will be okay. And then maybe I'll go back and change my first name to Elle. Maybe. We'll see. It would just be nice to have all of my socials line up and all have the same name. You know, that would be nice. But we'll see. I may change it as time goes on. But I want to be sure that this account will actually stay around, because if it doesn't, I will be highly pissed. And if this account goes defunct again, if they disable this account, I'm not coming back to Facebook. I'm sorry. Like, as much as I love all of the people that I have on this platform, I just can't come back. I will use Messenger for the group chat, but like, I can't deal with this Facebook bullshit again. Like, it would just be too annoying. So hopefully this account is fine. Fuck, there was something else I was gonna say. I can't remember. But yeah, I think that's basically it. If any of you have questions regarding the situation, feel free to ask. It's weird. I feel like a YouTuber, even though I'm not. Even though I have talked about doing a room tour. And I've thought about also doing like a shoe tour. It's not a haul because I didn't buy them. They're already bought. But like showing you the shoes I own. I would want to show you the clothes I own, but then that would like spoil OOTDs. So I don't want to. I thought that was a good idea, then I was like, oh, maybe not. I also want to do like, I guess it's called Get Ready With Me, but only for my makeup. Like basically like doing my makeup on a live stream on Facebook one time. I feel like that would be fun. I just don't know where the fuck I would put the camera, like my phone. Well, I could maybe figure something out. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions regarding the situation. Let me know if there's any other videos you would like to see me do. I guess I can leave my socials in the description too. I highly doubt anyone else will watch this video besides people who know me. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. I love you.